who he reminds you of.
He's a true football player,
yes,
Ryan.
He's got that it factor.
He's got that it factor.
He's
Dang,
a football
Skippy.
player.
He's a football player,
Well, our
man.
next guest, he was a hell of a football player, and he's a hell of a coach. Charlie Ragle joins us now on the Right Footed Guest line. Talk some Sun Devil football. How you doing today, Coach? What's going on?
How we doing, boys? A little under the weather, so excuse the voice, but the spirit is still at 10 strong.
I love it. I love it. I gotta give you guys a lot of credit. You get blown out by a really good Utah team. You come back, you go to Pasadena, and you beat UCLA. I mean, the fact that you guys were to keep these kids, together was really awesome move on your guys' part.
Well, I think that's a testament to Coach Dillingham and these coaches, on staff. And it's a testament truly to the kids for buying into what we're selling them, and what we're coaching them to do and believing in where we're going big picture with this thing. And so you got to take your hat off to those guys for continuing to show up, because it's not easy. You guys know that, man, day in and day out. And, most of the breaks have been against us, and, to go out and create some breaks that were positive and to get a win against a good UCLA football team. That's not a slouch team by any stretch, man. And for us to go in there and get that win really is a testament to the big picture program. And it was certainly fun to potentially not play in the Rose Bowl for who knows how long. That to be the last game was a fitting ending for ASU football and fans.
Coach, just curious, was there thoughts about a hat trick with one Cameron Skattebo? He threw one. He ran one, maybe a little play to throw him in. He gets the hat trick. I mean, this young man, I'm just asking, Coach, just saying, was there a thought that maybe that could happen?
Well, you know what? Maybe it's a to be continued this week. Maybe it's going to roll over the sequel. You know what, man? He is something, isn't he?
Yeah. I got to tell you, Coach, I maybe I need to get him in the lab a little bit too to hone those passes. So he put that ball on the money, no hesitation. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have my guys watch Cameron Skattebo throw the football.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, he put a couple of those. He dimed a couple of those balls, man. He was throwing those things. He could use a little extra lab work, though. I'm sure of that.
There you go. Well, you're talking to the right guy in Manuch. Charlie, I'm real curious about this. Rock referenced the fact that you got dusted big time at Utah. Then you come home and you put the pieces of the puzzle back together again, go on the road again, win against the Bruins. Can you take us through how the coaching staff was able to get the team back on the right track? Things that were said, what did you teach? Without going into too much detail, I know you can't give the game plan away, but just give us a little feeling what that was like.
Yeah, well, I think absolutely. I think to a man, and I said this last week, you had to give Utah their credit, right? That's a good program, and they whooped us. But I think we left Salt Lake City to a man saying we didn't play our very best football. And, win or lose, and we obviously know what our record is, but we played hard and been in every single football game that we played this year, with the exception of that game for the most part. And I think we all left there feeling that we didn't quite play the way we thought we could and should. And I think it left a bad taste in everybody's mouth, coaches, players included. And I didn't think that there had to be a whole lot said when we came back here in terms of, hey, where we needed to go this week and the attention to detail and the things that we needed to really focus in on across the board in all three phases. And I think the guys really did that. Again, and I'm not just saying this, I think that's a testament to our head football coach. I think that the guys, this late in the season, where we've been at, and the bumps and bruises and the ups and downs of wins and losses, for those guys to respond how they did at UCLA really is just, I think, the tip of the iceberg of where we're going in the future. And it's truly a credit to those players, and they went and played like it on Saturday night.
Coach, you watch Badger week in and week out, and talking about Kenny calling the plays. It's very Deebo Samuel-ish, what I see this young man going down the field. You guys have stretched him out, and I really appreciate his stamina throughout a game, all the things that he's doing. And was that part of the game plan, or did that just evolve with the usage of one Isaiah Badger?
No, I mean that was certainly part of the game plan. I think sometimes, and understand as the game evolves, there's certain adjustments and changes that are made. But we obviously know what he's capable of, and I think he showed that in different parts of the season, not just on offense, but obviously in the return game. And so that was very much a part of what we were trying to get accomplished in the game plan. And he just continues to flourish and play well, and he plays well in critical situations, and that's when you need it at
3 minutes.
You need to look at the defense, coach, and if there's one thing I take a good look at, you talk about intent, the consistency of intent, as I call it, speed, physicality. And with Mallory and Edmonds, I mean, Mallory, this young man, when he's all over the field, these two young men are tackling machines, coach. I mean, to keep that defense focused after what Jimmy talked about, that little dust up you had in Salt Lake, you talk about testaments, but those two kids have been very consistent on the defensive side.
Well, and I think, again, you talk about from the global picture of our head coach and keeping these guys together, right? And then I think defensively and what Brian's done all year, Coach Ward and the message that he's shared with these guys, consistently good, not occasionally great. Everybody does their 111th, and just the buy-in. And I think we all walked out of there with a bad taste in our mouth on defense in Salt Lake. And so we knew we had something to prove coming back. And, talking about, Deshaun, I mean, the game that he had and the impact that he's had on this team, he's a splendid young man, and he is a problem. He is just a handful inside. I think he's got great twitch and get off, and he's a problem for guys to block, especially one-on-one. And he certainly showed that Saturday night in that game against UCLA.
Charlie Ragle. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask, how are you going to slug Oregon down?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Bo Nix, and the guy just signed a new NIL deal today with Google Shopping. It's like one of the biggest ever. These guys are making so much money, Charlie. Where was that money when we were in college?
Yes.
1 minute.
Yes.
I got a pair of gym shorts and a pair of cleats, and I thought I hit the lotto, man.
Yep. So how do you slow down this guy?
You know what? They're just playing at a high level.
Yeah.
And you got to give them their due. I mean, they're a very good football team. Bo Nix is the engine that makes that thing run. I mean, and he just doesn't beat himself. And Dan can relate and understand this, that like when you have a guy that runs the show on offense and he doesn't beat you himself, he just makes great decisions. He's very careful where he goes with the ball. He gets the ball out so quick. And then that offensive line up front is really impressive. In my opinion, it's probably the best that we've seen. But, at the same time, we faced a similar opponent in Washington when we went up to UW, a handful of weeks ago. And so it's, we faced a highly running offense when we played USC. And it's not anything that we haven't seen thus far. It's, we can't get lost in the sauce, so to speak, and we got to worry about what we do and control and play at a high level, because we've shown if we play at a high level that we'll get the results that we expect. And so that's been our focus this week. We know it's a major task because they're a heck of a football team and they're playing probably their best football right now. But, that's what you play these games for, and you certainly want the opportunity to play great teams, and we certainly got that. What's going to be a really good game here at Sun Devil Stadium on Saturday afternoon, or what is it, Mountain America Stadium now?
Yep.
So
you got it.
Yeah. I still got to get used to saying that, but either way, it should be a heck of a game.
Coach, vitamin C and Crown Royal. That's what works. That's what works for me, buddy. Crown Royal, a little vitamin C, a little powder.
When you're home, coach. When you're home.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe a little pumpkin. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. Maybe throwing a little pumpkin pie or something.
There you go, Charlie.
Here we go.
Yeah. Little Cool Whip, little Breyers ice cream, little vanilla. Oh,
Let's
man.
go. That's what I'm talking about.
Good luck on Saturday, Coach.
Appreciate you guys as always. Go Devils.
You got it. It's Charlie Ragle, assistant head coach for the Sun Devils. You can follow him on Twitter at RagleCharlie, and he is presented every Thursday here on Rock and Nooch with Jimmy B by the Crest Insurance Group. Crest Insurance Group, they offer personal, business, specialty insurance solutions for clients across